And they really don't have a closer on this team because Jimmy Butler is not a closer. He can occasionally take a last minute shot at the end of games and things like that, but his offensive game isn't good enough to be a closer every night. He's not number one material, And it's kind of, you think about it, they really don't have a number one. Like, Tyler Hero might be the closest thing they have to a clutch shooter in the fourth quarter. He can put the ball on the floor so he can create his own shot, but he's not a closer per se because he hasn't done enough to call him that yet. He has those characteristics, I will say that, of Hero. Now, we can't put the burden on the kid because he's a rookie. He's already exceeded expectations as it is as a rookie. But it's not like it's interesting the way they're constructed. And I was thinking about that last night, that maybe that's also part of their ups and downs, that, they've got to have it going on and they've got to be shooting because it's not like they can count on, okay, here's the ball to our closer and he can close us every night. That's not the way it goes with the Heat. Jimmy might be doing it one night and then Dragon does it another night. And then Tyler does it another night. And then Duncan Robinson does it another night. And then it's Bam Adebayo doing it another night. It's not really the one guy like a lot of teams have. Like, okay, LeBron's going to take over. Anthony Davis is going to take over. Kawhi is going to take over. Oladipo is going to take over. That kind of stuff, that certain teams have that guy that can kind of take over for them. And that is the interesting dynamic of this team, which, again, because they're so young, because they are inconsistent at times with their defense and their three-point defense, and then their offensive game, it's kind of it's a different type of offense that you're facing night in and night out. And it's imperative in their case that they are shooting well from the outside because it's a team that is so powered by it, it needs it because it's not powered by the closer type game. And while Bam can do his own damage around the paint and things like that, he's still offensively not at the point where you can hand him the ball at the end of every game and say, we need this basket, close us out. It's kind of funky the way that team works. But man, it is absolutely impressive to see how well they can shoot from outside. And they've been doing it all year. I mean, that is the amazing part. This is a team that can shoot. This is a franchise that didn't have shooters 3 years ago. 3 years ago, they couldn't hit the side of a freaking barn. They had like Wayne Ellington, and that's it.
They couldn't hit the ocean standing on the beach.
Not even that. Nothing. It was just Wayne Ellington. Nothing else. And now they've got all kinds of shooters. And they're missing two of their shooters. Right? And it's funny how some of you out there, you were using Tyler Hero and Myers Leonard as an excuse when they were losing. And I was telling you can't use that as an excuse because they beat teams without Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero and everybody else at times. So you can't. And now in this 4-game winning streak, nobody's mentioning Tyler Hero and Leonard Myers because it doesn't really matter. It helps. There's no doubt it's going to help when you get those guys back. But my point is they are what they are. And they're going to beat you because they have enough shooters that night hitting their shots like last night. I mean, when guy after guy after guy is killing it from three-point range. I mean, Rothstein was talking about this last night, how even when he was coaching, whatever it was, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, he says, things have changed since then. And it's true. The game is a completely different game than what a lot of us grew up with, what a lot of us saw develop into the 90s, and then what we have now. Because when you go from the ABA to the openness of the 80s in basketball, and then the limited 90s that it was the pound inside game, inside outside,
Sinners.
80s, 90s scoring and all that, and now where we're at here in the 2020s, where it is a high-flying, up-and-down game, get up as many threes as possible. Guys have mastered this shot now. I mean, Rothstein was joking yesterday. He was like, they need to move the line back 6 feet. Because it's gotten easy for these guys. Now, where the three-point line was a challenge, now it's a challenge for defenses to get at the offense 3 or 4 feet behind the three-point line. That's how much the defense has been stretched out. You don't have to run out to the line. You have to run past the line to get to the defender. To get to the offensive player as a defender. It's really amazing. Games changed completely, and Miami, with the influx of these young guys, they have put themselves in the forefront of all that. They got their holes. They're not great defensively. They're young. They're still probably underdeveloped physically still, all of those things. They've got, they're far from perfect. But when you've got that three-point shot, it keeps you in every game, man. It really is amazing. It's impressive.
How many three-point shooters do you think we got? Just off the 7, 8 of them?
Yeah.
That could throw it up
yes.
on a consistent basis.
Yes.
And you know what? Kind of like the Castnet numbers. I'd say all 8 guys are going to be cold one night. So you're going to have somebody show up and be able to hit the three.
Right,
the odds of 8 guys going cold and not being on one night, that's pretty tough. Yeah. Somebody's going to be able to hit the three.
It's weird, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And when they're all hitting like last night.
Yeah.
Man, if you can do that, coupled with play defense like we did against Milwaukee, shooting threes and playing D like that, you combine those two things, man, we can beat anybody, anywhere.
Yeah, no, I feel you. No doubt about it.